What would you do if the secret of your pregnancy was revealed in the worst possible way? It was supposed to be a perfect night. I made Ethan's favorite dinner, hoping to finally earn his mother's approval after weeks of tension. But when my mother-in-law whispered something in his ear, his face turned from calm to furious in an instant. And then, shockingly, he slapped me, his pregnant wife. Before I could even process the pain, the nausea I'd been holding back hit me. I threw up right there, and when my purse fell to the floor, a positive pregnancy test slipped out. The room fell silent. "Grace, are you—" Ethan's voice broke. "Yes," I whispered through tears. "I was going to tell you tonight. That's why I made your favorite dinner. But the damage was done. The man who promised to love and protect me had just hurt me. And our baby." As I stood there, clutching my stomach, I knew one thing for sure. Nothing would ever be the same again. Vivian's. Words echoed, but the damage was done. My perfect life shattered in one evening, and I didn't know how to move forward. The days at Chloe's house passed in a haze of tears and ignored calls from Ethan. Chloe took care of me, getting my clothes, calling in sick for me, and helping me through morning sickness. "Your house isn't a home anymore, Grace," she said one morning, handing me a cup of ginger tea. I knew she was right. Things had gone downhill since Vivian moved in, from her constant interference to the way she turned Ethan against me. When Ethan skipped my sister's wedding because Vivian felt anxious, I knew something was terribly wrong. The endless calls and texts kept coming. Ethan begged me to come home, while Vivian blamed me for tearing the family apart. A week later, at my first prenatal appointment, I heard my baby's heartbeat for the first time. Tears of joy mixed with sadness. Ethan should have been there. That night, I broke my silence and sent Ethan the recording with a simple message: "Your child's heartbeat." His response came quickly. "Please, can we talk? Just us, no Mom." I hesitated but agreed. When we met at Carter's coffee shop, Ethan looked broken. "I kicked her out," he said quietly. "She lied to me and I believed her. I hurt you because of her." He wiped his eyes. "I'm starting therapy. I don't want to be this person." "I'm scared of you," I admitted. "I won't raise our child in a home with violence. Either she's gone or I am, and I'll fight for full custody." He nodded, agreeing to therapy and cutting ties with his mother. But Vivian didn't back down. She stalked me at work and caused scenes until Ethan filed for a restraining order. Despite everything, we began counseling and slowly started rebuilding trust. At our next appointment, we found out we were having a girl. In that moment, I knew we had to break the cycle of fear and control for our daughter's sake. Ethan stood by me when Vivian confronted us again, telling her she had no place in our lives. That night, as I cried in Chloe's guest room, Ethan sat outside the door. "I've filed for the restraining order," he said softly. "For all three of us." For the first time in a long while, I felt a spark of hope. His reflection mirrored my gesture, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry for everything I put you through, for every time I didn't protect you, for every time I chose her over you." "I know," I said softly. "But Ethan, you need to understand. I'm not doing this for us. I'm doing it for her." I touched my growing belly. "She deserves better than what we had." "She does," he agreed. "And I swear, Grace, she'll have it. We'll give her everything we never had: safety, trust, love without condition." For the first time in weeks, I believed him. The restraining order came through a week later. 3 months, renewable based on behavior. Seeing it in writing, Vivian Matthews must maintain a distance of at least 500 feet, made it real. We were doing this. Ethan and I stayed in separate therapy, meeting twice a week for couples counseling. Slowly, painfully, we began to unpack years of manipulation and control. The old patterns ran deep, but recognition was the first step to change. By my 5th month, I moved back home. The house felt different. Her things were gone. Ethan had repainted the walls in soft yellows and greens. colors we chose for the nursery. I got rid of the dining room set, he said quietly. Bought a new one, no head of the table, no hierarchy. We built new routines. We cooked together, made joint decisions for the baby, and kept his mother's influence out. But the first test came at 7 months. A baby gift arrived at my school. An expensive silver rattle with a note. Family heirlooms can't be kept. Away by restraining orders. Ethan took it straight to our lawyer. She's testing boundaries, he said. The rattle was returned through legal channels with a warning. What if she never stops? I whispered that night. Then we'll protect her, he said firmly. Every day, every time, I won't fail her like I failed you. We made a safety plan, passwords for daycare, security cameras, a network of trusted contacts. When Vivian discovered our hospital registration, we switched hospitals and registered under Chloe's address. It felt extreme, but Ethan's commitment to protecting us helped rebuild my trust. You're doing the work, Dr. Martinez said in one of our last sessions before my due date. Both of you. That's what matters. Labor started at 2 a.m. on a quiet Tuesday. Ethan followed our practiced plan, and by 2 p.m., our daughter Lily Grace entered the world, screaming her tiny lungs out. She's perfect, Ethan whispered, tears streaming down his face. She looks just like you. The first test came, sooner than expected. A flower delivery at the hospital, addressed to my first granddaughter Lily. The card read, "Blood is thicker than water. She'll need her grandmother soon enough." Ethan ripped it up in front of me. No more secrets. We handle everything together now. Coming home was different than I'd imagined. Security cameras, new locks, extra lighting, but inside it was just us, our little family of 3. At Lily's 1-month checkup, the pediatrician smiled. She's thriving. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That evening, Ethan took my hand. I saw Mom today, at the grocery store. My heart stopped. What happened? She tried to approach me, asked about Lily. I walked away, called security, followed our plan. And, how do you feel? Sad, he admitted, but certain. Our daughter will never know love that hurts, love that controls. She'll only know the real thing. I looked at our sleeping daughter, knowing he was right. The cycle was broken. Thank you, Ethan whispered. For what? For giving me a second chance. For showing me what a real family looks like. For her. I leaned against his shoulder, finally feeling safe. We did it together, I said, and we'll keep doing it every day. For her. The sun set outside on our new life, a life we fought for. A life where our daughter would grow up knowing only love, never fear. But can wounds like these truly heal? Can love rebuild what was broken? Change is a process. Not words, but actions. Trust takes time. Every relationship needs respect and protection. What do you think? Is forgiveness possible? Can people truly change? Share your thoughts.